everybody. Welcome to the BlaqSkooz Fools Show. It's another great Sunday, and we doing what it do, baby. Yo, I'm here. It's Kubi.
It's Bo.
Professor Luck.
Oh.
And we're going to talk about black on black crime.
No such
some
thing.
people saying it ain't no such thing as black on black. Some people say it is black on black. Yo, Luck, hit him with that quote, yo.
Yeah, I want y'all to marinate on this quote real quick. It says, back in the 60s, our brothers and sisters was hanged, so how could you gangbang? I never ever ran from the Ku Klux Klan, and I shouldn't have to run from a black man. That's self-destruction.
That's fire.
So how y'all feel about that, man? I never ever ran from the Ku Klux Klan, and I shouldn't have to run from a black man.
True.
Let me ask you this, though. Let me ask you this, Luck. Why you think you're running from a black man?
Because they fear. Like, people fear. Like, if you're in certain neighborhoods and different demographics, you're more fearful than you are than other demographics. I don't know if that's a stereotype or just how it is now. You know, certain people tuck their chains in when they're in certain neighborhoods. I don't see people tucking their chains in when they're in a predominantly white neighborhood.
The wolves
I see them tuck their chains in a African American neighborhood. I don't know why.
And you're 100% right. You're 100% right. But there's a reason why you do that.
Tell me the reason.
It's because systemic racism. It's because of the employment rate. It's because of the housing discrimination. It's about the drugs in our community. We're in the ghetto, so that's why there is you quote unquote black on black crime. But there's no such thing as black on black crime.
It is black on black crime.
Nope.
Yes, it is.
Nope. That's
so what is it? It's black. So I mean, we don't want to call it that, but what else could you call it? Negro on Negro crime, like a Negro killing another Negro, or a black person crime against another black. Crime on crime.
It's crime. It's not crime on crime.
It's just crime. There's just like there's crime in white neighborhood that white guys have committed against other white guys. It's about who's in your area for you to commit those crimes. It's crime of vicinity. Whoever's in that vicinity where you're going to commit that crime. If there was just white people in the ghetto, it'll be the same thing. It would just be just crime. It's just the narrative that CNN and Fox and MSNBC is pushing black on black crime. There's no such thing. It's to make us fear each other and make other people fear us.
To be aggressive.
But the real thing is a systemic racism that's pushing that.
Could I touch on that?
No, you got it.
So follow up on Owen, I feel the same way. Like, you don't hear white on white crime. You don't hear Asian on Asian crime. And I think they put black on black crime as a way to kind of oppress us in another way, like O said, through systematic racism. Because you put it this way, the first thing you hear if a white person say, hey, a black man gonna kill a black man, so imagine what he gonna do to me. So that'll make a police officer be more aggressive. That'll make a reason for them to put, more laws in the plate that will affect African Americans more than anybody else. The same thing. If you go sell drugs to your own people, we don't want them selling to us. That's why, certain administration gave people that sold crack way more time than people that sniff cocaine or sold cocaine. Because guess what? Crack was in the black neighborhoods. Cocaine was in the white neighborhoods. Technically the same thing. So, when you hear black on black, I think they put these, and again, I call them stigmas, on us to give us harsher treatment, regardless. So if a cop walking through and it's made to make them feel uneasy, because guess what? If he do it to himself, he will do it to you. That's how I look at it.
Okay. So let's take that label off and let's just talk about what's happening. Like, it never mattered to me what the title of it is. It's the act of it, basically. We killing each other. I don't care what it's called. Like that. That's apples and oranges, right, Bo?
No.
The title doesn't mean nothing. It's the act. It's the act of us doing it to each other. That's my whole disappointment with this situation. With this, I'm gonna call it an epidemic because it happens. It's been happening for a long time now, and like O said, there's reasons why it does happen because, people don't have. And when people don't have, they take from others, whether it be their materialistic things or their lives, you know. But it doesn't all just happen in those areas, though. It happens everywhere. And then we have to like put a stop to it, because you can't say Black Lives Matter when somebody that's not our race takes it. And then when somebody with the same ethnic background as us kills another one, now all of a sudden it's average, it's normal, it always happens. So it's becoming like a part of the norm. So we don't touch on it. Just keep the same energy is all I'm saying. When a white person kills a Black man, keep the same energy when a Black person kills another. Like, it's something that we need to fix. We got to fix it. Go ahead.
But that's what Black Lives Matter means. It means we're going to try to stop this systemic racism so we can fix ourselves. But without stopping that, there's no way we're going to fix ourselves. So when you say that we need to concentrate on that instead of Black Lives Matter, they both intertwine. Because once we stop the systemic racism, that's when we'll be able to stop people from killing each other or robbing somebody. You know, that's when we're going to stop the so-called Black on Black crime.
I mean, I don't blame the system for it, though. I mean, it's all an individual decision that people make. It's people that got money that kill. It ain't poverty all the time. It's mental health. There's a lot of things that factor into why we kill each other. Like jealousy could be another reason. So it's not. I don't blame the system for anything that I do to another Black man.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Where did the guns and the drugs come from in our neighborhood? We didn't have that, right? So,
correct.
And again, where do all these
I didn't hear what you say. What'd you say?
Where did the guns, these illegal guns, where did the drugs, all of these things that have been pushed in our neighborhoods, if you look, liquor store on every corner, things like that, it's there for a reason. Look, it's like you can't go to any other neighborhood and say, hey, we just gonna build this liquor store. You could try it and you probably gonna get, the people to push you out of there. But by us not owning anything systematically, when you start talking about housing and redlining and things like that, we don't have that type of power. Now, we can decide to do something when the store is there. But again, if you have no control of your environment, then who is it to look at? You're born there. Doesn't mean you have to stay there, but you're born there. And a lot of people, of course, the education rate, the dropout rates are probably technically higher in those neighborhoods. So the education is not as top notch as it should be. And again, I'm not like straight pointing the finger, but at the same time, if it's the same recycled things over and over again, then you have to start to look at, is this system, because it is a system put in place to keep me oppressed. That's what we have to look at, and I think a lot of times, like when you think about Black on Black crime, it takes the blame off of what happened to us at one point in history, right? So that, there's a lot of trickery into having people say, no, you're the reason this is happening, when really you're not the reason. It's kind of like if you're being abused, the person that's being abused will start to question themselves when they shouldn't. They should be questioning, why am I getting beat? Not what am I doing wrong? See, and I think that's the thing, and that's why I don't like that Black on Black stigma narrative that people push. Yes, we do have the option to make decisions, but if the decisions are slim, or something seemed technically easier, that's probably what people are going to run with. And that's
but the alternative should never be death. You know what I'm saying? Like, based on a liquor store being on the corner or drugs being available or a brand new pair of Jordans, the alternative or the option should never be death. Like, that's a personal decision. Like, I can't blame liquor stores or anything else for the reason why I want to kill somebody. Now, to get revenge on something like, yeah, you broke into my house or you disrespected my family. I mean, it's other things involved, but for the things that we kill each other for, like materialistic gain and all that stuff like that, there's no excuse for it. It's never an excuse for killing somebody for materialistic gain, like, because I'm from this neighborhood and I'm being suppressed. That gives me a right, oh, they got guns in my environment, so since they got guns, it's the government's fault for putting this gun in my hand. Like, no, we got to get away from all the excuses while we do things. Like, it's all personal choices. Like, you make these decisions and you got to live with the consequences. You can't say, I'm in jail now because of the government made me kill this person because I grew up broke and my mom and dad fought. Like, it's too many excuses why we do what we do. We got to take accountability for our actions. And until we start taking accountability, go ahead, O.
Let me ask you this. If white people were in our shoes, you think they'll be doing something different?
Don't know.
Huh?
I don't know. I can't answer that question. I'm not white.
No.
So
Because what I'm saying is our circumstances cause us to do what we do.
To kill?
It's not our race. It's not our race.
So,
it's our circumstances.
To kill?
So circumstances to rob and kill somebody because that's where we live in?
No. Overall, systemic racism causes us to do what we do.
Kill?
What do you? All right, answer this question. What do you mean by that? Explain that exactly.
What do you mean?
Systemic racism. Explain that to me.
All right, what it is pretty much the housing we live in. You have projects where up-team people live together on top of each other. You have the suburbs where white people are spread out. Just say, for instance, if they got an issue with someone, most in that town, most likely they're not going to see them right away. They have that beef that time. But if you're in a projects and you have a beef with somebody you know you're going to see them the next day because y'all shop at the same place. It's the chance of you being able to kill someone or in the ghetto is much easier than it is in a rural area. You know, there's more.
So that's what systemic racism means, what you're telling me right now?
That's a part of it. The housing, the drugs in our community,
of where we live.
The employment, yes.
That's the reason why we're going to kill each other.
That's to have the greater chance of us killing each other because of the things that we don't have. If you don't have, you're going to try to take.
The reason why majority of this stuff happens like that is because TV, videos, music, all of that is happening, and all these shows that are showing drug dealers making a whole lot of money, and this is what's going on. So guess what? Who runs the movies? Who used to run the movies? A lot of them, the white folks. So they put all these movies together, and now all of us brothers is going out here trying to sell drugs, trying to sell the most drugs, and try to drive big-time cars. And now, guess what? Oh, Nino Brown, yeah, he's shooting people. Why? Hey, I got to shoot people to own my territory. So this is what you're trying to tell me? Okay? No. First of all, you live it wherever you live. You can make it out of everywhere you live. You have choices. As soon as you get locked, you get locked up. Now you ain't got no choice.
Okay. What's the chance of you getting locked up in the hood, and the chance of someone in the suburbs getting locked up? The chances.
It could be the same amount of. It could be the same amount of chances because guess what? First of all, number one is if you respect your family and respect the people that raised you, then you ain't going out there acting a fool and doing stupid stuff. That's number one. So your name means a whole lot. If you ain't respecting your name, then you shouldn't even worry about nothing else. You should worry about, getting popped and all that because you ain't respecting your household name first. That's number one. Then number two, you have a choice to make the right decision and the wrong decision. You could go out there and work in the grocery store at a young age. So what? The money's going to be slow and little. And the other young kid is sitting on the corner pitching drugs and making 100, 200, 300, whatever he's making. Yeah, now all of a sudden you want to go out there. Now you the first one to go out there and you was doing a good job buying the grocery store, but as soon as you get out there 1 week later, you get popped because you out there selling drugs. That was a dumb decision. So you can make it out of anywhere you live.
Let me ask you a question, Cool.
Yeah.
Because he talked about, getting locked up in the ghettos and stuff like that. You ever heard of the Khalid Browder story?
No.
You ever heard of the Central Park Five?
Yes.
Did they do it?
They did not do it, but guess what? Wait, okay. I saw the whole story
I think I'm rolling with Owen on that one. Again, it's the same thing. Like things that happen the
Let
hood.
him finish, Coop. Let him finish.
The things that happen in the hood or the ghetto can be pointed to systematic racism. And it could be pointed to black on black, because guess what? They always point the narrative to black people being aggressive, black people being a bad guy. But again, the places we live, you know, we're born there.
Let's talk about the 5 then. Let's talk about the 5 since you want to bring that up. Let's talk about the last individual that spent the most time in jail. Let's talk about how he was in the chicken spot with his lady having chicken. And then he wanted to run outside with homeboy going in the wrong direction when he could have sat there with his lady, had chicken, and never been locked up. Let's talk about it, man.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Go.
Let's talk about
Here we go.
let's talk about 4 guys together, and all of a sudden look across the street and see 15 people running in Central Park. Oh, let me go follow that. Wrong decisions. That's all I'm saying.
Did he do anything?
You listen to me, just like that other show we had.
A white man
you set yourself up. You set yourself up. He wouldn't have.
All right, if a white man would have ran in the park, you think he would have walked out? Come on, man.
First of all, he wouldn't have went in the park.
Let's not play that game.
We getting off topic. We getting off topic. So we black on black crime, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting off topic. Let's stay on topic. So I mean, no matter where you at, there's going to be things that are against us. We already know that though, and that's what we need to teach our kids. So don't put yourself in situations where things might happen. You know, it's very unfortunate. I mean, it's unfortunate that we have to have this conversation because, like what Cool Modi said, like, why are we running from our own? Like, we feel we're in more fear of our own than the other race. And that's a problem. That's a problem when we fearful of people that look like us, when we supposed to be all brothers and sisters. You know, we all have that in the back of our mind. Like certain places we walk down certain streets, like, oh, I don't know, like they don't look because they black. That's the only reason, because they black.
Why?
It's something in us. It's something in us. We think that they might do something.
We're gonna take a break.
It ain't got nothing to do with. It don't got. Go ahead.
Let's take a break right here. Let's take a break right here. You're listening to BlaqSkooz Fools, and we be right back after this.